If you look for Craig Bayens, you might just find him in old buildings that are being torn down, as he salvages for lumber for his next project. Craig's philosophy is taking the old and making the new, making tables and chairs from 100-year-old wood.
Well, I got involved in woodworking my freshman year in college. It was funny because my neighbor at the time, I went to his house and I saw a table he had made. And I said, "Oh, where'd you make that?" He said, "Well, I took the functional design course at Murray State." And I said, "Oh, that's neat. I'm gonna try to get into that." So I was either gonna get into the functional design course or I was gonna ride bulls in the rodeo. I was gonna try to. So thankfully, I got into the functional program and it's never looked back since. The first piece I made was actually a kidney table. It was, they're real popular. It's like atomic furniture. They're real popular in the 50s. That was the first piece I'd made. It's really simple. It's just a plywood top and turned tapered legs, and it was very simple. I think it's in my mom's basement. It's really big. It's really big for a coffee table. We call it Big Red because I dyed it red. I'm most proud of this piece, my teeth chair, because it dabbles into every aspect of woodworking I've encountered so far, like carving and shaping and curves and painting. I made this in response to, I was invited to participate in a show for my mentor's retirement. His name was Paul Sasso at Murray State University. And this just plays off of a piece of advice he gave me when I was in school that said, he told me that, he said, if you spend as much time, you know, in doing your art as you do making fun of people, you'd be really successful at it. There's a certain satisfaction in making something yourself. I get asked all the time, you know, it's like, well, where'd you get that? It's like, well, I made it. You can't, you know, can't shake a stick at that. So you got rid of a load. Oh, yeah. We're on Main Street, Louisville, Kentucky, in an old tobacco processing warehouse they've been tearing down for the past 5 years. Sooner or later, when this part of the building comes down, these are going to be a trestle table for me. That's where they come from, and that was their function. I could spend hours down here just looking until something just jumps out, and hopefully it's not a rat. You gotta get that one section for me so I can get all those piers and caps. Boy, 'cause I'm almost out of those. You're never gonna see wood like this again in our lifetime. This lumber is 150 years old. The growth rings on it are a lot tighter. The color is a lot deeper and more rich. You know, you can get wide boards. These were 15.5-inch wide boards. And I have them all the way up to 26 feet long. And so you're not gonna find that today. If you compare this to a new board, it's completely different. Some old timer would sit here and chisel these things out all day, and they didn't make a TV show about him. Biggest compliment I've gotten on my furniture is that, you know, most people don't believe that, I had no idea that the tabletop were floor joists in an old building, or those were old wall studs. I've been asked all the time, you know, oh, did you make all the nail holes yourself? No. I try to keep my work as honest as possible and try to do as little as possible to the material. Try to stay true to it. All the damage in the lumber that I find builds the character of the piece. That's why I've been keeping my lines very simple. You know, they're influenced from shaker designs and old farmhouse designs because the real star of the show is the lumber. I respect all these old timers because, you know, I guess it's from that World War II generation. You know, what did they do? They went off and saved the world and didn't ask for anything in return. And today you can't get by with that. You know, everybody wants something. And they didn't make excuses, and they just did the work. They didn't need $10,000 table saws in order to do the work. They just did it. And there was no excuses. It's do your work or go home. My whole goal in life is to make as much as a union plumber. You know, I don't want to get so big that I'm not doing the work anymore, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to suffer and not do any work. There's no way that I could ever feel fulfilled working in an office every day. I have to create. I have to do something that's worthwhile.